Good day, children. So from today onwards we'll do the revision. Today we'll take the first lesson, the portrait of a lady, and this lesson is written by Khushwant. And children, I want to say that most of you, those who have got your grandparents, you must be very much attached to them. So in the same way, this story is a very touching story. And here the narrator, he was left by his parents in the village as they went to the city for the job, and they did not take him till they were settled over there. So here his teaching began in the village school. He started going to school with his grandmother, and the grandmother, she used to wake him up early in the morning. She used to dress him up, used to give stale chapatis, and she used to apply butter on it and little bit sugar. Butter means ghee, and sugar on it, and then she used to give it to him, and she used to prepare his slate and pen, everything. And after that, both of them, they used to go to the school. And the grandmother, she used to carry stale chapatis with her. And when they used to return from the school, she used to throw stale chapatis to the street dogs, and they used to growl and eat the chapatis. So at school, in the village school, the narrator, he used to sit with the other children in the courtyard of the temple. Previously there were no schools as we have. So the school for them was the temple, and the priest. The priest used to teach them various things. He used to teach them about God, and they used to recite after the priest, means Pandit or Pujari, you can say. And by the time their studies were going on, the grandmother, she used to sit inside and read the scriptures. And when the studies were over, the school gave over, they used to come back home together. So this went on for many days. And when the parents, they were settled properly in the village, in the city, the narrator and his grandmother, they were called to the city, and in city he joined the English school, and there the grandmother could not accompany him. He used to go by bus to school, and she was not able to help him in his studies also, because he was taught various subjects over there like science, geography, maths, and many other things except God. And the grandmother, she did not like the city school, as it did not teach anything about God and the scriptures. And one day when the narrator told the grandmother that the music was going to be taught to them, so she said it's a very bad thing, it's not for the good family, because during that time the music was only meant for the beggars and for the prostitutes. So this music was not liked by her, and she was very much upset. And after that she spoke very less to him, though they stayed in the same room. But when he grew up and he went to the college, the rooms were separated, and then the great difference, the distance between them, it was widened up. And the grandmother, now she used to spend her whole day spinning the wheel, and after that for 1 hour she used to sit in the courtyard and feed the sparrows. The sparrows used to collect round her, she used to sit, and she used to feel very happy. She used to break the bread for them, and those birds, some used to sit on her head, some on her shoulders, and some used to eat the bread from her hands, and she liked them very much. And this way she spent her day. Then when he was going abroad for his higher studies, and she also went to see him off to the airport, and there she kissed him, and he thought that this must be his last contact with her, and when he'll be returning from abroad he won't be able to see her. But after completing his studies from abroad, he was able to see her. She came to pick him up with her parents to the airport, and she was very much happy. She did not say anything. She was happy, and at home she collected all her neighborhood people, and she started beating the drum and singing the song of the bravery of the homecoming of the soldiers. And this way she tired herself a lot. The family members, they told her not to exert, not to do overexertion, but she did not listen to them. She sang, and she after that fell ill. And the doctor said it was a mild fever and she'll be okay. But the grandmother knew that it was her last day, and she did not speak to anyone. She only was holding beads in her hand, and she was beads of rosary, and she was praying to God. And after that, the rosary fell from her hand and she was dead and gone. Then some very amusing thing, surprising thing took place. The people mourned, and as the Hindu customary, the dead body is kept on the floor. So her body was kept on the floor, and rest of the family members, they went out to prepare for the funeral, for the cremation. And when they came inside, they saw that her room was lit with the bright sunlight, and thousands of sparrows were sitting round her body. None of them were making a single sound. All were mourning over there, and the mother, she felt very sad. She broke bread, threw the breadcrumbs to them, but they did not pay attention to it, and when the body was carried away, they all flew away. Nobody touched the bread, and next morning the sweeper came. He swept the breadcrumbs and threw it in the dustbin. So here, one more thing I want to tell you, that the narrator, he was not able to believe that his grandmother was young and she had so many children, and she always wore white sari, white clothes, and held a rosary in her hand, and she kept on saying the prayers. And whenever she used to get him ready for the school, she used to sing a monotonous song, and the song was sung so beautifully that the narrator did not learn it, but he used to just listen to the beautiful voice. And the grandfather's picture that was put up in the drawing room, it was having long beard, and he was wearing loose clothes, and he looked very, very old, and it seemed as if he had got many grandchildren. And it was unbelievable that the grandmother was pretty when she was young, because he had seen his grandmother from a very young age to the age that he completed his studies. She looked the same. She neither grew older. She looked the same as he saw her from the very beginning. So she always walked about in the house with her hand, one hand at the back, because her body was bent, and to balance her body, her hand was at the back, and she held rosary in her hand and she used to move about in the house saying the prayers. So all these things impress the narrator very much. And children, this is the end of the lesson, and I want you all to read the lesson thoroughly. Don't mug up the question answers, because MCQ is going to come, and this MCQ is from middle of the lesson. So read the lesson twice, thrice, so that you'll be able to understand the small things that are there inside the lesson, and everything will come from within the lesson, not from the notes. So you have to do a thorough study of the lesson. So that's all for today, children. Good day and good luck.